new online radio that makes you happy.
You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please.
Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
You are always welcome home, welcome home.
Your online radio, the new online radio that makes you happy.
You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please.
Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
You are always welcome home, welcome home.
Your online radio, the new online radio that makes you happy.
You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please.
Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home.
This is Jafric Radio.
You are always
Your online radio, the new online radio that makes you happy. Your online
Bahati
radio.
Bisimwa. Natokea Congo, Republic of Congo. Kwa sasa naishi Japan, ndani ya Tokyo. Munasikiliza Jafric Radio Online, number 1 in Japan. Hakuna matata, tuko fresh.
Salve, mi chiamo Mano e tu stai ascoltando Jafric
This is Jafric Radio.
Africa out! Jafric Le
สวัสดี
Chic
ค่ะ ชื่อแอมนะคะ มาจากประเทศไทยค่ะ ตอนนี้กำลังเป็นนักแสดงอยู่ที่ประเทศญี่ปุ่นนะคะ ตอนนี้คุณกำลังฟังอยู่ในคลื่นวิทยุ Jafric Radio
Oi, aqui é a Paula e você está assistindo Jafric Radio.
You are listening to Jafric Online Radio live from Japan.
Yeah! Jafric Radio. Radio. This is Jafric Radio.
You are listening and watching Jafric Radio. Check it out, it's awesome.
Like, subscribe, share all our social media handles. Arigato, bye bye, share. Jafric Radio is a
This is Jafric Radio.
Chiankoma Nana Ya Pop, Jafric Radio.
Special good morning and come out the entire crew. Nana Ya Pop and the entire crew. Jafric Radio Japan, good morning. We love you. Congratulations. We love you. Yeah,
Jafric Radio.
Yeah, Jafric Radio.
You change your money now. Nana de show to Japan, you know.
Gloria, many travel come down. I know Tina, my papi, what ya? Papuria said the journey was raboli. I will come as well as ready. I just got over tromiti, I can't hear Mano. Nasa jealous, I will be when you want to walk. Now, what if one of woman so I show?
I'm not done.
Hello, our wonderful and cherished viewers. We just want to greet you. Good afternoon, Japan time, wherever you are. We send our greetings to you, and we thank you for tuning into Jafric Radio Home Sweet Home program. All that we want you to do is to share this program with your friends and loved ones. Just call them and let them
This is Jafric Radio.
So they can be part of this big family, and what we are about to do, they would also have their share. Okay, so please send it to your friends and to your loved ones. Thank you so very much for being there for us all the time. We are so much grateful to you. I think without you, we couldn't do what we are doing. So we thank you so very much. And if you have not yet subscribed to Jafric Radio, please just subscribe. Yes, we are in all the social media handles, starting from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are there, so you can join us or you subscribe in any platform that you wish or you prefer. Okay, thank you so very much. This is Home Sweet Home program, and I am your host all the time, Abdapoma Pokufuku, a lady with a long name. If you think you have a very long name, just let me know. You can call me Dickness Poma if you want or if you like. Okay, thank you so very much. And I'm reminding you that this program is sponsored by Bayside Modeling Agency. If you are in Tokyo, if you are in Japan here, and you have ability to model, or you have something special in you that you want to exhibit, just contact Bayside Modeling Agency at info@bay-side.base. And we have Tomric Hotel. Tomric Hotel is at East Legon in Accra, Ghana. So if you are in Accra,
this is Jafric Radio,
in Ghana, and you want to enjoy home away from home, I recommend Tomric Hotel to you, that you go there and have your stay. I tell you, you will never regret you did. And if you are outside Ghana and you want to visit Ghana, Tomric Hotel is the very best place that you can lodge in. Yes, because the reason being that they are close to the airport, and access to the airport is very, very convenient. And also they have all the intercontinental dishes that will make you feel at home. Though you may be outside home, but you feel at home. So just contact Tomric Hotel at www.tomrichotel.com. You can get them and all the information that you need. Just visit their website and you will find it. Thank you so very much, our cherished viewers and listeners. Today, today is today. Yes, we have a very great topic that we are going to discuss with you. And before then, I have a very short advert that I want to do. So wherever you are, I want you to listen very carefully. Yes, as I've already spoken about the Jafric Radio, we have an app. And that app, all that you need to do is to just go to Apple Store. If you are using Apple phones or Apple PCs, just go to Apple Store and download the app. You will see the icon on your computer or on your phone. Anytime that you want to listen to Jafric Radio, you just click on your icon and you are on. Yes, and if you are using the Android, you can visit the Google Play Store Google Play Store and download the app. It will still come to your PC or your phone. Click the icon and you are on. Thank you so very much. So if you have not yet, please do it for us. Just download the app. Download the app. But if you are using the app, you will not see pictures. It's only the radio. So you can hear everything that we are saying. And it's very important to download the app. Thank you so very much. We have a very sad announcement to give, but I think we know that in all things we should give thanks and glory to God. Our elder, the elder of the Church of Pentecost, Elder Emmanuel Lack, is celebrating his mother's funeral on the 18th of September, which is next week Sunday. Yes, we are in Sunday in Japan. So wherever you are, if you are hearing my voice and you have not yet entered Sunday, Japan is still on Sunday. So we will do it next week at the Church of Pentecost premises. So wherever you are, just come and celebrate the life of our mother. I call it our mother. Yes. At the Church of Pentecost in Kawaguchi Central Assembly. You can take a bus from Minami Rawa station or taxi to the place. If you are using bus, just drop at or get off at Enshoji. Yes, and if you are using taxi, just tell the driver that you are going to Kyokai and they will drop you there. It will start from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's just 2 hours. So wherever you are, we are inviting you to the funeral of our eldest mother, Oba Penny Ajua Lakute. Yes, aka Mami Penny. Mami Penny. We are celebrating the life of Mami Penny, her funeral. So please join us, celebrate this funeral. And we are going straight to African Palace. We are going to eat. Yes, so if you are African, if you are African and you want to eat better food, just go there and purchase your items. Yes, the items that will make you feel at home. All you can find them in African Palace. So as you see the adverts on the screen, yes, everything, they have variety of things that you may need.
Welcome. Hello, my brother.
Right.
This guy is Benkupula from Nigeria. Jamaica Stone for men. African Palace.
From Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Ivory Coast, Benin. Oh my God. Everything that you need, you can find it. Alright, so go there. If you are watching me right now, just see the screen. Yes, they have rice, long grain rice. Oh my. A beauty product is also there for women. Yes. For those who eat fufu, Ghanaians. Yes. You can find your favorite there.
We are inviting you all to our shop. Our brothers and sisters from Africa. Thank you very much. We are expecting your
African Palace Soka.
So please visit.
African yeme bia oya ebi
thank you.
Ye nya se obefre
Visit them and just chop home food. Chop home food. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Yes, I have with me the women's lover. Anytime I mention this, he just turned his eyes. Our own uncle, friend, brother, a teacher. Yes, Mr. Fred Jechi Mensah. I call him a man with wisdom and dignity. Yes. So Mr. Jachi is here with me. Yes. So I introduce to you the guest for today's program. Mr.
This is Jafric Radio.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here. And listeners, we welcome everybody. Thank you for watching us always. And today too, we are here with a program which we discussed in a con a week ago. We're going to do our best and bring it to the English listeners as well. And I hope you stay with us and learn something. Thank you and stay tuned.
You stay with us and listen with us. And you can also share your comments with us, what you think, your ideas. Just send to the comment section as we are about to start. And just give your contribution. It's very important. We need your ideas about the topic we're about to treat. Thank you so very much. And today's topic is disadvantages of premarital sex. Disadvantages of premarital sex. I think last week we talked at length. Yes. And we saw a lot of disadvantages. Maybe they have some little advantages which I am not sure. Yes, but we will stress on the disadvantages more, because premarital sex have more disadvantages than any advantage that you think of. So, Mr. Jeche, last week we did it in Chi, and we speak a lot about it. And today too, we are doing English version. So I will still ask you the disadvantages that you know of premarital sex.
Okay, well, thank you, Dickness. Yeah, like we said last week, the lot of disadvantages then. I don't know if there is any advantage in there, but yes, yes, disadvantages are more than what we know even.
That's right.
But I think the main one is lack of planning. You're not prepared. Yes, so you don't get prepared, and once you're not prepared, you don't get things working in the way that they should. So yeah,
for premarital sex.
For premarital sex,
you don't get prepared. How about someone says, I am fully prepared, I'm fully aware, but yet I will still indulge in premarital sex?
Well, when there is no problem, if you can do that without problem, then in your mind you would think you are prepared and you are getting along with it. And if there was no problem, then it wouldn't be a problem to discuss.
Right.
Yeah, because there has been problems involved in that or associated with that, so we consider that a topic to discuss and find solutions.
Right.
Yes, for that. So if anyone says he's prepared and he's willing to go, well, then there wasn't a problem with it, so that's fine. But here we're talking about a premarital sex that maybe has been a problem in some existing relationships.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about. And for me, I think is you don't plan well. I mean, you don't get to
lack of planning.
Yes, lack of planning is the main thing. Yes, and it's because of that so many things would not go the way that you want.
This
you
is
would
Jafric
have to
Radio.
rush into doing things, make mistakes, not looking into details of things, and of course, yes, you do you do get into some situation that you find yourself very uncomfortable. Yeah, and all these problems happens because maybe you started something that you ought not or you shouldn't have, done it. So that's why we see those problems and we sort of categorize that as an issue that has to be discussed.
Right.
Yeah, otherwise, there was an issue with that.
Great. Thank you so much. Last week, I got a call from someone. He said, we talked about the broken heart associated with premarital sex and all those things. And one said, others also choose sex as fun. It's like they are not going in because they love the person. It's just a fun. So they just play around and go their way. So the person think that he doesn't see any disadvantage of it. And I think if you can also give your idea about what he said, like doing sex as a fun.
Well, religiously speaking, no religion will tell you to go into sex before pronouncing marriage to somebody. Well, I haven't seen some before. If there was one, then somebody should call in, tell us that he knows a religion that says you can sex before you marry the person. You see, so religiously it sounds not correct.
Right.
Yeah, but if someone says it's fun and if there hasn't been problem, that means that fellow has sort of escaped escape some normal things and indulging himself or herself into it. So there was no problem and he thinks there's no problem. Well, you can go with it.
That's right.
Yeah, but once it has surfaced as a subject to discuss, that means there was an issue there. You see, so if you think it's fun, well, you should consider the consequences that associate with it.
That's right, the consequences.
Yeah.
If, let's say, you are having fun of it, and at the end of the day, you got pregnant along the way, and maybe you might use the protective measures or something, but along the way, when you got pregnant, what would you do? Yeah, so I think having fun alone is not the issue that we are talking about, but the consequences that follows. Yeah, after having fun. For those who think that sex is fun. Yes, having fun, and at the end of the day, you contracted some sexually transmitted diseases. Yes, that's the consequences that we are talking about. Yes, as disadvantage of premarital sex. So you may think that is having fun. Yeah, but you may also think about the consequences associated with premarital sex or associated with indulging yourself in that act. All right. So, Mr. Fred, you said something about planning. How can lack of planning, be the disadvantage of premarital sex?
Yeah, like I said earlier on, if there was no problem, then you can probably get along. So there's no problem, no planning, that's okay. I mean, you do things in your own pace. So you can say that it's okay, but lack of planning, like you were saying, along the line, should pregnancy occur, you probably have not prepared for it. Yeah. Unless you're someone with economically fortified family or parents. That is, even that you've not planned, because they've got to rush into doing things that were not supposed to be there at that time. So if there was a pregnancy along the line, like we're saying, you don't have the plans yet. Maybe you've been dreaming of having children someday with your future wife. If she was the woman that you were dating to marry someday, however, you could be in a situation that if you've got into the relationship or you've got into your schedule much earlier than planned. But let's say if she wasn't the one, then in this case, what are you going to do? Are you going to switch? Or what are you going to do? You've got to rush into things. Think of how to save the woman and save the unborn child's life. You see, like I said, religiously, you won't be permitted to abort it. That means you're damaging a soul, which is not acceptable.
And apart from damaging soul, it's not good for the health.
Health-wise, health-wise too is not good, because we've heard history over and over. We've seen people who are unable to give birth in life.
Exactly.
When you go through, medical says maybe when they were young, they sort of aborted the fetus, and that has caused them not having children. In their life. So if all these medical issues are there, then why would you risk that kind of situation and get into it? But you see, personally, of course, we've all been there before, which wasn't right. We are here to advise because we've known that experience wasn't palatable.
That's right.
So what would be nice for me would be when you have kept yourself and your woman until the day you are unveiled. Yes, that is where for me the joys come.
That's right.
The joy will come, it will flow and flow, because the decision that you've made, you've been supported by people who attends the wedding or the ceremony, and and you have swollen headed and you get along and you are free. You see, so I mean the disadvantage for me is not planning well. You are unprepared.
And not planning well. I got a call from a lady, and he says she is in a relationship and she won't try to keep herself from doing this premarital sex, but the guy think that the lady doesn't love him because he kept on saying, if you love me, you should have allowed yourself, and the lady doesn't want to do it before the actual time. So he said he need advice from us. What?
Well, I think
because the guy think that the lady doesn't love him.
Well, maybe he's a young guy. He's not been watching programs like what we've been doing, or he's not been talking to matured people that as he ought to. But he's probably a young person, I believe. I don't know him, but I should believe he's a young person. So he thinks, But I think the lady should find some time and explain it, not just ordinarily, but maybe call some good friends of the guy. If the parents are aware that they are dating, then the best person to consult with should be the guy's father or the mother,
to let them know that the intention of their
it's not going to harm anything. Of course, sit the father and the mother and say, we have planned to marry, you are aware of this, I love Michael, I love Charlie well, but I think I know he's a man, he sometimes advances, and I want him to understand my situation, that he should hold on. It's not going to cause any alarm to do that.
Isn't it too early to involve parents in those kind of situations?
Early in what sense? I mean, if the guy is advancing for sexual relationships, when the lady or when you think it's not yet time, then I'm not sure it's early, because if the parents are aware that you are dating and ultimately you're going to get married someday, then what is the earliest and the latest thing about it? Just get them involved. Or you, the girls, you can talk to your own parents and ask them, to carry on that duty for you. Of course, I'm not sure it's going to...
Some fathers have no patience. They have zero tolerance for such things. For your daughter to come and tell you that my fiancé want to sleep with me, they will get angry. I think.
I'm not sure this should even get the parents annoyed. No. It's a polite way of even talking to them. The parents will rather be happy that their daughter have even got the sense to come to them and let them know this. She's not saying she's pulling away because of that, right? She's saying, Daddy, I want you to celebrate me. On the day that I get married, I want you to celebrate it. And the celebration shouldn't be half leaked, that in my heart I'll have some conscience, illegal conscience about myself, but I want it to be fully leaked by you people. So this is the situation. Then you explain to them why you want your fiancé to hold on, and be patient for a while. Definitely the time is going to come. You have to let them, that woman has to let them know this, that the time is going to come, and once you're married, the veil is unveiled for you. Everything belongs to you. You just have to make this promise before your parents, to the boy's parents. And I'm not sure the guy is going to get angry. He's really going to feel proud. Oh, wow, this is what she's thinking. Well, that's my suggestion, actually. But I think, well, for me, if my daughter should come to me and say that, for me, I'd rather be proud that she's got some disciplinary actions, and she's well educated or something like that sort of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be proud. I'll be proud of her. Very much.
Viewers and listeners, if you have idea on what we are discussing right now, you can still send your comments somewhere that the guy thinks that she doesn't love her because she refuses to have sex before marriage. Yes, so if you have anything to say, you can send through the comments section and we will read your comments also. Thank you so very much. Yes, thank you, Mr. Fred, for such wonderful explanation. And I think a situation like that, you can also talk to your man, letting him know your intentions of not because you don't love.
This is
but you want to.
That is where I started.
Exactly.
First, talk to him.
Yes.
But if he still insists, don't get angry with your man, because it's natural for men.
Right.
It's natural. He's going to advance for such things. So when you see that, the only way, just to let your fiancé know that you love him, and you don't want you people to get into a situation whereby you have to rush into things.
Right.
For example, if you have planned to marry in June and you are still dating in February, March there, and this kind of things happens, and you happen to get conceived. You see, you happen to get conceived. In this case, you would have to rush and get married to avoid any suspicion or disgraceful act. So in this case, you're going to tell your parents, everybody, this is the situation, so let's rush things and get married. Maybe your parents will not be in situation, their finances are not yet compact, or they're not ready, so they would have to rush things, So that's what I'm saying. The best way is for that lady who is, having the issue of the boy advancing towards her. If she has spoken with the fiancé and still doesn't work, or the guy doesn't believe him, there's nothing she can do. She doesn't have to get angry. The best thing is find the guy's best friends, some disciplined ones among them, then the guy's parents or your own parents. Tell them, I think your own parents would be the right way.
The right way, I think.
Yes. Tell them to call the boy and let the boy understand that you love him, but you want your marriage be celebrated with clear conscience. What I mean by that you did not unveil yourself before the day.
Yeah.
So you have clear conscience that once you have unveiled it, everything belongs to you. Whether you put your whole head and everything inside. Yes, of course. You have to let your boy know that what you're saying, you are committed to it.
All right.
And once the ring is put on, the pastor or whoever pronounce you to marriage, of course, you belong to him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And if he doesn't get tired, he can go 100 times.
Wow, if he doesn't get tired.
Yeah, because you belong to him. So you should be patient. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you the one listening to me, you the lady, if you are the one, I think the best thing is use your own parents. If you are talking to your man and he's still not showing some improvement, he's still advancing, but understand him that it's natural. Every man will do that. Yeah, it's not his fault, but probably he's having problem controlling himself. So help him out by talking to him or talking to your own parents or the guy's parents, and let him have the assurance that once you are unveiled on the day that is designated, you belong to him, and whatever, how many times, everything is for him. Give him this assurance, and I believe he will understand you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fred. Just talk to your parents if you think that one would help, or if you have spoken with your man and he's still not understanding you. I mean, just bring in the third party in order to help your marriage to be sacred. Yes. Thank you so very much. Last week in our Chief version, we also talked about some people also saying that if you do not try before you enter into the marriage, and when you get, into it, and you find some things which you think it will not help the marriage, what would you do? So others also think that it is better to indulge in it before you get married. For example, pastor said a pastor got married and the lady saw that his manhood is very, very small to her liking, so she just ran away and never came back. Yeah, so in a situation like this, can we think that avoiding the premarital sex is okay?
Yeah, I think we should understand that judging people by the natural features in relationships, for me, it's not the right way.
Right.
Yeah, because if love comes first, you're going to get used to the natural features of your spouse, no two ways. Because what is imprinted in your mind is love matters.
That's right.
Yeah. So unless you make the material side of it your priority, that is when you're going to think about how long he is, how big is him, and the vice versa.
This is Jaffrey
Unless
Radio.
you make that material thing the priority.
And I think some ladies also have been to it, because if the lady actually a virgin, she might not know that this is so small or so big that I can. So maybe she has got involved in those things, activities for so long. So as soon as he saw it, it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If somebody should do that, that person doesn't have a genuine love. For the other, because he's already, or she has already judged the partner by his features.
Right.
And I'm not sure it's going to be helpful along the line. So if I was the man, even I would thank God that it has happened that way and that lady has packed.
Your wedding night.
I don't care.
Hey, this is serious.
Of course, because that's what she was judging, right?
Right.
So it will hurt you you get into
it
things
will make the man feel
for some time.
Uncomfortable.
But if you are a real pastor that knows that God does things for a reason, you would even thank God that it happened that way.
This is Jeffrey
What
Radio.
about somebody saying, "Oh, you were too small for me, but I will try." He gets along with you. Then along the line, you look at someone on the street and say, "Hey, this guy would be big," and she goes after that one. What are you going to say? I would say, are you going to ask God, why have you made my wife this way, or why have you given me this kind of woman as a wife? So, yes, for me, if I was the pastor, I would even rely on my faith, yes, and trust that God does things for a reason. So there was a reason why that woman has to react that way. Yeah, and let her go. Yeah, like I said, people who judge people's features by their physical bodies, appearance, and that the love that they claim to have, I mean, yeah, to my understanding, is not genuine. Yeah, because should they see things that they have already perceived in mind, they're going to go after that one, leaving you behind. So what about that? In this case, yeah. So the best thing is not to judge people by their physical features. If you are a virgin woman, that means you haven't got the experiences.
That's right.
You probably would be quiet and get used to what you have.
Yes.
But if somebody with those kind of nasty experience and those are those going to say that. And likewise, the men too, if they have experience with different kinds of women, they are going to judge the women by their physical features. Yeah. And that is not helpful. It's not good at all. So my understanding is people who do that actually do not exhibit genuine love for the other.
Yeah. And these are also some of the reasons that people nowadays go for body enhancement and those kind of things, and they don't even think of the long-term effect on their body and themselves. Nowadays, men also, especially the African men, they see the back boobs and they think that, oh, they are the best. So others who doesn't have as much as it will please the men try to go on artificial way to also enhance them, making them bigger. And it happens all over, especially in the land of Ghana. Nowadays, most of the celebrities, when you see them, those that we think people are looking up to them, people are seeing them as their mentor. They are started doing this, putting things at their back, making it big for men to admire them. Yeah. So I think, do you have any advice given to them? Yeah. I think it's.
We call that the crazy young days. Yes. Yeah. Of course, young people will do that, and we've all been there before. We know when we were young, we know the kind of fashion that sort of came out. Everybody was eager to grab it, go for it, do this, just to attract the opposite sex. So it's something that would come and would go away. It's always a whimsy kind of fashion that goes on. It's going to continue, yes, for some time, but as people grow from their present age, they're going to know that, all those things were nonsense. Yeah, they're going to know that, because right now, when you're a young person, it's difficult to accept advice from experienced people. Yeah, once the society is in the fashion of doing that, and you hear a lot on the news, you hear a lot, you read from the magazine, and these days the internet, so you think you should be part of that kind of crazy thing going on. I quite remember when I was working for a company in Itabashi. I had finished school then, so I was a very young engineer working at a studio, and there was one of these young girls who was a clerk there and was serving, and the internet came in. It has been commercialized then. And you can see people, everybody trying to get a new phone. The phone wasn't cheap like these days.
These days, yeah.
Yeah, those days, and there was no subscription system like these days too. It was ready paid cash then. I bought my phone at 32,000, straightforward. So this lady would at one time spend almost half of her monthly salary on this kind of things. This internet, the cell phone, then there was a kind of fashion dress, jeans and all those kind of things. And before the month got ending, she was kind of broke. You know, so yeah, she came up, and as we were working, you know, she was a clerk then, and she was discussing this, and she brought the topic, and we asked her, why would she do that?
Right.
You know, her response was, it's not a kind of a fashion going on, so she's in the right age, she's got to do that. And we all laughed.
You've got to do that and suffer.
Yes, and suffer.
Wow.
You see, and she was at the same time looking for a boyfriend. And we all look at it. Of course, there wasn't, the age difference between that lady and us wasn't much, except that we were from the academic background, so we still have a lot of a kind of social, a little bit higher than hers.
Yeah.
So we were not engaged in those kind of things, and we knew it wouldn't help her. So we sort of advised her she shouldn't be doing that. But you see, her response was, yeah, there's a time to do that. Get the internet at home. Anybody who comes, you can know that you have the mobile, you have the internet. And you see, in those days, the internet wasn't like this present day that you have this fiber optics or those kind of things. It was through the telephone line.
Oh.
So it was quite expensive.
This is Jafric Radio.
You see? So that is what I'm trying to say, is when there's any fashion going on in society, young people are the first, you know, to grab it. And this will continue going on. So like somebody's saying,
so they don't care the adverse effects on them.
No, when you're a young person, you don't think about the effects that comes after, unless you are unfortunate, or I mean, you come to a point whereby you have experienced through that kind of thing that you call it a fashion. That is when you can learn something from that. You see, but until then, you feel you're still young, you are floating, and a lot of them too were smoking, thinking it's fashion. At the end, most of them ended up with kind of heart diseases and So with the young generation, I think it's going to go on. People are going to say,
this is Jafric
we've got
Radio.
a test. I don't know what they mean by that, but if they would listen to what we're saying,
we got a test.
Then they would.
They said you cannot buy a toffee and just eat it with its cover. You have to unveil it before you eat. So before they got married, they need to unveil.
Well, we're advising you that it's not helpful. You're going to be in a rush. Should you get into accident by doing that, or should you get a problem by testing before the day? If you get a problem, you're going to be in a rush, and you're going to do things in a haste. You forget about details, and by the time you realize you've done something stupid, and you'll be in a hot water. So we're advising you to stop that. There is no time frame on this. So if you know you cannot wait, then do things quickly and get married. That's the only advice we can give you. Do things quickly and get married.
The one typical example that I know is this tattooing. A lot of people has involved themselves in it, and when they grew up, they regretted so much ever doing that.
And you cannot erase it.
You cannot erase it. And even if you try to erase a kind of amount that you pay, they said it's like 3 times higher than the money that they used to do, and it's very painful.
You're going to have scars there.
Yes.
Because they've got to scratch
exactly
the body. He's going to have scars on the body there. Yeah.
So Radio. You need to be also be very careful. That one is just by the way, that to buttress our point on what we are saying, that it is not healthy for you to engage in premarital sex.
Yes, you see, so society has got a lot to be blamed for this, especially we people who were colonized. I mean, whose culture was sort of misplaced by foreign inventions or foreign intervention.
No.
You see, our society has got a lot to answer. I mean, these problems, because we are learning a lot of things that we don't understand them.
Yes.
The education that brought us up back home, you know, we did not understand so many things because we learn in a different language that we probably don't have much control over it. So some things instead become a fashion for us. Just knowing some words in a different language, knowing some words in English language is a kind of a fashion for us who were studying them. Okay. See, so instead of looking at our own culture, understand what we were doing, what is wrong, what is right, we look at what was in somebody's culture and adopt that in a way that we did not understand it. You see? So when you look at education, the Bible was translated into vernacular, that is Twi, because they wanted us to understand religion, which was somehow okay. But the real education that we do in school, how many of those were translated in Twi?
You're talking back in Africa?
Yeah, back in Africa, you see. So what I'm trying to say is we are adopting some things from different cultures that we don't have clear understanding of it. And there's nothing to stop that even until today. So what I'm saying is society has to be blamed for that. We're not making any efforts, or we're not trying to stop that flow of foreign culture into our education system that brainwashed us. You see, because when you look at our old grandpops, grandmoms, see, the marriage was sort of coordinated by family institutions.
Exactly.
And this was properly, yes, and this was properly done then. So you can see that there were no much problems. There was freedom there, but people would wait until the institution, which was the family, has granted them the permit to get married.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was genuine then. So because of the foreign intervention, we've accepted something like freedom for ourselves, and we are taking our own decisions. Meet somebody on the street today, tomorrow, just because she was sweet in bed, you make a decision to marry.
That's how human rights has been brought about. Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying society has a lot to respond in this case. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Fred will hold on. We will go on commercial break, and when we come back, we'll continue. And also, we will be looking to the young ones, especially those who are virgins, how they would see the disadvantages, the danger in it for indulging themselves in premarital sex. So we will, talk about that one also. So we are going on commercial break, viewers. When we come back, we will discuss a lot. So please don't go away. Stay tuned and enjoy yourself with the songs and commercials. We'll be back soon. Thank you.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. You're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you
Freak Radio.
Hello, viewers. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning into Jafric Radio Home Sweet Home program. As we always say, we have only one motive.
Radio.
Yes, that every married couple enjoy their second heaven on earth. So we give you things. We bring to you things that will spice up your marriage for you to enjoy the second heaven on earth, and also the things that will caution you so that you will know what to do, what steps to take in order to enjoy your marriage. All right, thank you so much. The topic for today that we are discussing is disadvantages of premarital sex. Premarital sex. Those that indulge themselves in sexual activities before getting married, or sex before marriage. You have planned to marry someone, and before the D-Day, you have already unveiled it. This is what we are talking about. And last week, what we learned is that most at times, others, after they have had their way on the woman, they just back off. And there are a lot of broken heart issues all around. Others even, there are so many things happening. So many things happening. Yes, out of broken hearts, we see some people being murdered. And I think it's not helping. So we need to be cautious. We need to be careful in any decision that we take as far as the marriage and the sex life is concerned. All right. So, Mr. Fred, before we went on commercial break, we were talking of, we promised to talk about those that have not yet had sex, let me say virgins. Yes. What advice are we giving to those ones? Because it's very important. Other people, because out of curiosity, they want to test and see. Yeah. Others, yes, the same curiosity. Others, peer pressure. Others, lack of parental guidance. Poverty. A lot of things push those ones to engage themselves in premarital sex. So, in any form, whether you talk about poverty or a curiosity, lack of parental care, and other stuff, you can pick anything and talk about. What advice are you giving to those ones?
Well, I think the advice should go for them all. If you were able to keep your virginity till this time, for me, I think you are lucky. or you are disciplined. Let me put it that way. Yes, you were disciplined girl or disciplined boy. Yeah, that means, you have overlooked all these crazy things going on the street, on the internet, wherever, and you have kept your virginity. Whether you're a boy or girl, for me, I think you've done well, and yes, you've shown that you have discipline. I would advise you to keep it until someday you have got someone that you love. You truly love, not the material kind of love, no. Yeah, so that's the only advice we can give to people who are still virgin. Just, and like we always say, your bedtime prayers that you get the one that you love. Your best and your wishful thinking that you get the one that you love. I think that should keep you going. Yeah, but as long as you've kept yourself disciplined and stayed away from this social and crazy fashions going on, well, I recommend you and I advise you to keep that in. Yeah, wish that you have your real lover, someone with dignity that you can expose yourself before. Because marriage that we're talking about, you're going to rely or depend on somebody. You're going to expose yourself to somebody, and you have to make sure that anyone who sees that your nakedness respect you from the beginning. Yes, that's my advice. Yeah, we've all been in the wrong areas in life before. I must be honest with you. We've all been in wrong areas, but along the line, we've advised ourselves to not to let the young ones who comes after repeat those things. So, yeah, be on your guard.
So now you're talking from experience, right?
Yeah, be on your guard and be sure that whoever sees that nakedness respects you from day one. Yes, that's an advice for you. So, yeah, just keep it. Yeah.
Yes, just keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it for the one who respects you enough to pay your bride price. Yeah, keep them, especially the ladies. The ladies. Yes, so whichever way. There are some situations, Mr. Fred. I listened to one lady who was a commercial sex worker.
Okay.
Yes, and she shared her experience on the social media, and she was saying she lost her parents at a very tender age, and there was no one taking care of her. And as a result of that, he had tried many jobs, and all that she went through is before they offer her a job, the managers, male ones, try to have sex with her before giving her a chance. And she sat down and said, okay, if this is the case, why didn't making it my business? Instead of doing the job, and at the same time the person is doing this, I need to also establish myself as a commercial sex worker. You come, you pay, you go. And that's what she was doing. And she was sharing the experience, what she has been through, and it has not been easy for her. So there are some situations, apart from being like having a relationship that you want to marry and go in before marriage, let's say the disadvantages. There are people also out of, let's say, poverty or lack of parental care and guidance, they go into sex activities which are not healthy. So in a situation like this, like the lady who's lost the parents and indulge in this act. If you are to advise her, or there are other ones outside who want to, follow that path, what would you say?
Well, maybe you should listen very well to that lady, that person who is saying she's doing that because she lost her parents. How long is she doing it? Yeah, and who was advising her then? You see, if she has been doing that as a commercial business, then she's on the wrong side. You see, she did not get a good advice, but for the reason that she lost her parents, I think that wasn't enough excuse for her to get into that habit of having relationship with or sex with different men for living. I'm not sure it was enough excuse or advice for that. I don't know how old that person was. Otherwise,
she was in her 20s.
She could have done 20 was. She was an adult. Yeah, wherever that she goes, or in any country that she would be, then she was in her 20s, and it was good enough for her to find some job for herself and wait for the rare man in her life. So that reason wasn't enough for her to go into that commercial sex trade. No, she was probably interested, and she's just using that as an excuse, for herself, or to justify her her wrong motives. You see, otherwise 20 years is enough in every country. Even 16 years is enough to get yourself doing some things on the street, So for me, that wasn't enough reason. She got the wrong advice, and she's in the wrong era. Yeah, but let's say for parental reasons you cannot sponsor yourself, and let's say you are a younger person around 10 years or below that would be unfortunate. But you see, society has a lot of philanthropists and very caring, heartful people around. So if you happen to be a very younger person, and probably you talk to people around you,
this is
definitely somebody's going to you probably would one day get someone, be lucky and have someone to sponsor you to at least go through the basic education. And again, in most countries these days, because of the conscription education, people can go to school even if they don't have money to finish the one we call the compulsory schooling time, that is to the middle school level. So you can see that the society has made some things easier for people. Even here in Japan, even if you don't have money at all, you still can go to school. Yeah, just go to the world office, and in Ghana too, I believe it's the same situation there. Yeah.
But developed nations, it's easy for such people to be taken care of. But developing nations, it's really, really difficult.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that person himself or herself is interested in getting into that commercial body trading. Yeah, otherwise there would be enough ways for her to engage in some form of trading or selling or vocational activities, just to take care of her own life. So the reason that her parents died and she was 20 years, she has to get into sexual trading, for me, that excuse is, it's not.
Her excuse was any job that she applied, the managers or the CEOs want to sleep with her before offering her a job. So she decided to give myself free for this. Then why didn't I make it a business?
Well, like I'm saying, I don't know which country that fellow was, but what about doing your own business? Selling your own oranges, waters on the street. Is somebody going to ask you, let me have sex before I buy a drink from you. Is someone going to say that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That reason she has found to justify her wrong motives, for me, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah, she probably got a wrong advice along the line. So, yeah, if she wasn't in that situation, yeah, she probably could have got some good advice to either further her education or got into some trading or learn some vocational work, to sponsor herself. So she was probably interested in doing that commercial because that's where she thought she could have enough money. And don't forget that people who get into that trading are people who are greedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they envy, they're greedy, and all those kind of the wrong side of things. Yeah, because at 20, look, we've got enough people who have started their own businesses at 20. So making that excuse that your parents died, so you're trying to justify their wrong emotions. For me, I don't think it's enough. So if you're the one listening to me, if you happen to be in that situation, just think twice, please.
Yeah, especially the up and coming ones. If you want to indulge in such activity because you've lost your parents and you have no one to take care of, Mr. Jechi is saying it's a wrong motive. Think twice. Find yourself something else to do instead of trading yourself. Yes, in that act. So I think it's well said to them, and also the little advice that we have given to those virgins out there. Be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful. All I want to tell you is be careful.
Wait for your man.
Wait for your man.
And wait for your woman.
Wait for your woman also. Just as Mr. Fred has said, don't rush into it. At the end of the day, you will see broken heart.
Yes.
Yes, and it will keep on and on and on and on. Yeah, that's why most of our ladies, they don't love nowadays. Yes, they come in for the other motives that they have, because thinking that some people has break their heart before, and they must be careful. Yeah, so if we all try to discipline ourselves be careful with the things that we do as far as the sex is concerned, I think it will help all of us. It will help all of us. Right. Yeah, I think we have just 10 minutes to go, and we just want to also thank all of you for being there for us, listening to us. We are so much grateful. In fact, I wanted to read the comments that comes in, but my phone is kind of trouble right now, and I cannot read much. I think I have some messages on the messenger, and we have Mr. Joe Bafo. He says, thank you, my dear sister. I am enjoying. Thank you, Mr. Joe. Thank you so much. And I have Elder Samson Ali, doctor. He said, thanks, mommy, more grace for you. Thank you so very much, Elder. God richly bless you. And we have Randolph Owusu. He has given us thumbs up. Mr. Randolph, thank you so very, very much. Yes, I think this is all that I can see. I don't know if Mr. Fred's phone is working properly. Mine is not. So forgive me that I couldn't read your messages that you sent. I think I'm having difficulty on the internet. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, to continue, Mr. Fred. Yes, last week we said a lot. We said a lot about this marital sex. Yes, and Pastor Eddie Jemfi and Mr. Fred himself give us a lot of reasons why we shouldn't indulge ourselves in such acts. Yes, it pays to wait. So we need to wait until the D-Day. Yes, we talked of a man who got murdered when he visited Ghana. Recently, it was all over the news because of the broken heart that he gave a lady when he returned back from Canada with his family. The lady called the guy in and they murdered him. And the guy is dead because of this broken heart issues. So I think we need to talk about it. If nothing at all has happened, the lady wouldn't been hurt so much. Yes, at the point of killing. I mean, this is serious. It's not right. Yeah, but we must also be careful, especially the guys who think they can just play around and go scot-free. There are women who are hard nuts to crack. You can't, eat your cake and at the same time have it. No. They will not allow you. So we need to be extra careful. I hope Mr. Fred heard this story that I'm talking about. You haven't heard it. Yeah. A guy from Canada visited Ghana and the ex-girlfriend called him to her house and all that they saw was the guy was in the pool of blood. Yes, the lady killed him. He stabbed the guy with I think he invited another guy into the house and he did it. Yes, out of broken heart. We have had a lot of women and men who are being kept in a psychiatric home. Yes, as a result of he has break my heart, heartbreaking. Yes, if we have not involved themselves in this act, wouldn't have ended up in those areas. So we need to be careful. All that we are trying to say is that it has a lot of disadvantages than the advantage. We haven't even said one advantage that we think is tangible to say that we need to indulge ourselves in premarital sex. Yes, and coming to the religious aspect, which Mr. Fred has already said, it is not right. Yes, it is not right. In most of the churches, when you, found in such act, they will discipline you. Yeah. They will discipline you so bad. So we need to be careful. Yes, in our relationships. But Mr. Fred, my problem now is those celebrities nowadays. They don't want to marry, but they want kids. So all that they are yearning for is to get a nice guy that they think have sex with them and go away. Do you think that this is healthy? We are talking of premarital sex. But their motive is that they don't want to get married, but they want to have their babies to themselves. And a lot of people are watching them. And when such people, that society knows them much, indulge in such act, it makes the youth, especially those that are seeing them as their mentor, also follow the same path. Yeah, so in this case, what advice are you giving, especially to the women who doesn't want marriage for their own reasons, but yet they still want children and engage themselves in such act?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying is the way education goes, the way the societies educating people, things that we see, things that are permitted, things that are allowed to run over the net, things that are allowed to be heard. You know, yeah, I mean, those are the things that is sort of ruining society. Because
that's true.
To have children but not married, you know, it's like going to adoption or doing some kind of artificial insemination.
Yeah.
Which that was possible for some time, but was stopped by the Britons. Yeah, that artificial insemination, because they thought kids without fathers turn up to be irresponsible in society as time goes on. Yeah, it was stopped by the Britons. I can't remember, I was a small boy then, so it wasn't permitted. So if that same story is happening these days, then society needs to question the way we allow things to come into the system. See, for a celebrity, or I don't know, people in those kind of commercial business, they have a reason somehow, because you know, depending on what you are doing, people have wrong impressions about them. They think what they see in the movie is the same thing that they see outside. So they normally have difficulties getting one person marrying them because of the suspicions and all those things that goes wrong around them. But however, some of them used to have stable husbands, you know, and make their lives. Angelina Jolie, I don't know if you've heard the name, was one of a perfect example, who stayed with Brad Pitt with 3 kids for some time. Then she adopted extra ones.
Okay. So
for her, the children grew up to a point until they got divorced. You know, divorce is not a good solution, but in a way, she was able to stay with the same man. I mean, she got into marriage for some time. Yeah, so for people to say they want to have children but not married, well, I don't understand what they actually mean. And I'm not sure it will work well. You see, I've known somebody who finally ended up having about 4 kids with different fathers.
Alright. It happens.
Spiritually, it's not good. Religiously, it's not good. See, and I'm telling you, this person,
psychologically,
she's not peaceful.
Not good.
She's not a peaceful person. Although she's got 4 kids who are grown up with her right now. But when you look at them, they have, I mean, you won't think they are family. Yes, they have their own ways of thinking. They sort of belong to different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And
the bond is not there.
Yeah, the bond is not there. The cohesiveness, the bond could be there on the surface, but the cohesiveness is not there. Although they are from the same mother. You see, so these are some of the disadvantages that comes along with people who wants to have children, but without a man, or without getting into marriage. You see, so it's not a good way to do things. You see, yeah, like I'm saying, when you look at the African system, we've imported some things that it's rather ruining the society. It's taking away, I mean, eroding, if I should use the word.
Yeah, the values that we
have is taking them away, but we seem not to understand that. We've made politics a sort of a valuable role in the system, and politics is allowing all those kind of nonsense to go on. You see? Yeah, so it's time we have to think about such things and, you know, try to let people understand that getting children without marriage is not a good home. It does not begin a good family. And you never and not at all establish a good home. People should understand that. You see, because God, the Father who created us, did not make it that way. In the Bible, you can't find a single woman with only children without a husband. I don't know if there's a scripture somewhere there. Someone should call me and educate me, because I would like to know.
Except those widows and widowers?
Yes.
Yeah.
For them, it was unfortunate. We all understand that. But even then, they didn't say they won't marry again. Except that the marriage did not come.
Right.
You see? So you can see that it doesn't work that way. If you plan to have children but not married, it's like you are creating your own world. You see, it won't work that way. And not two ways you cannot have a good family to begin with. Yeah, so I don't advise people to think that way.
Okay.
It's not healthy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fred, for your wise advice.
This is Jafric Radio.
To the general public. Thank you so very much. I think our time is up, and I will allow Mr. Fred to say his final words. Yes, I'm sorry for not being able to read to you the comments that came because my computer, my phone has trouble with the internet, so I can't see those comments that has come. Yeah, please, I'm sorry about that. And Mr. Fred, your last word, then we end for today's session.
Well, my last word is one, to thank everybody who watched this program. We want to thank you all for making Jafric your best station to watch this program and be educated. So what we're saying is, become aware of who you are. Become aware of yourself, and always accept dignity, respect, and discipline. Yeah, before anything. So if you happen to get into a relationship with somebody, put value on that yourself and in your heart, and make sure that value stays with you and is respected. What I'm saying might be difficult, but to break it down, simply just take care of yourself and become aware of who you are planning to marry or dating with at the moment. Try and stay away from sex before marriage if you can. Yes, if you can, because the disadvantage that we've mentioned, look, if you don't take care, it can even ruin your life.
Your entire life. Yeah.
Yes, your entire life. Unless you're somebody from economic fortified home, that is parents with enough money or parents with who are well-to-do to support you, and even that you will still be drifted. I'm telling you, it's not good. So, that's why I said we've all been around, so we're giving you advice. If you can, stay away from that kind of engagement before you unveil yourself, because when you unveil it, everything belongs to the two of you. You're going to get tired. Don't forget that. So wait till the time comes. Thank you for watching in.
Thank you so much. When you unveil it with the right man, yes, you're going to be tired. And it's true. Thank you so much, Mr. Fred. We thank you for your great support and impact that you are making in our society. We just want to say thank you. Viewers, we want to thank all of you for having time for us on this wonderful program, Home Sweet Home. Yes, you know our motive, and it's one. We want every married couple enjoy the second radio. Thank you so very much for tuning into Jafric Radio and Home Sweet Home program. And we just want to thank our sponsors, Bayside Marine Agency and Turmeric Hotel, for sponsoring this program. If you are out there and you want to sponsor the program, please don't hesitate to call Jafric Radio and help. Right. Thank you so very much. We have some adverts that we need to run. Can the producer gave me the school one, the one that people are making donation to. I think there is a school in Ashanti region that needs help. Yes, the school building has been deteriorated and they need to get a new one. Yes, if you see the screen, this is the school, the classroom blocks for kids, and you
this
see
is Jafric Radio.
Everything. Oh my goodness, My goodness. So we need to fix it for them. We need to build a new one for them. So please, wherever you are, these are the blocks that children study in. It's kind of dangerous.
The solid foundation.
Yes. And you would never wish your child or someone close to you sit in this kind of in this building to study. Yeah. So you can call Jafric Radio if you want to donate. Yes, to the building of new school. I think this project has already been commenced, but they still need your support. Yes, they still need your support. So we are announcing to the general public, those who want to contribute, please don't hesitate to call Jafric Radio on this number. If you are in Japan, it's 07042319331. Or if you are outside Japan, you add +81 7042319331. The number is still on the screen, so you can call for your donation. Thank you so very much. Yes, it's important. It's important to donate to help. They are the future leaders. Yes, and if we give them a better education, better environment, it will help them to study hard, become what we want them to become in the future. Thank you so very much. I think the time is fast spent, and we want to end here by. All right. Okay. One I was about to skip one advert. Is the Church of Pentecost Japan. The Church of Pentecost is celebrating our 25 years in existence in Japan here. We want to celebrate and thank God for how far He has brought the church, and at the same time the church has been registered as a church in the land of Japan. So we want to thank God, appreciate God, and inaugurate the church, yes, for 25 years in existence in Japan. And we have our IMD, International Missions Director, who will come all the way from Ghana, and his wife, and also the first presiding elder in the Church of Pentecost. And we have our daddy, Pastor Oseyao Enin, also here. We are inviting all and sundry to come and grace this occasion with us, the Church of Pentecost Japan. Yes, the venue is at Kawaguchi. Yes, later we'll keep on announcing, and you will know exactly where to take your bus to. All right, thank you so very much, viewers. Thank you. Yes, if you want food, please contact African Palace. They will give you nothing but the best. They have yams, they have dry fish, everything that will make your home a home. Yes, a home without food is not home. So they will make a home. Visit them. You can get any African product that you can use. Thank you so very much. I want to thank the producers of this program, the DJ, Mr.
This is Jafric Radio,
as the executive producer of Home Sweet Home program. My name is Abna Pomapoku Fuku. You can call me Dickness Poma, a lady with a long name. Yes. Until we meet again next week, we say sayonara.
Hi guys, you are watching Jafric Radio. I am Abdul from Ethiopia. Jafric Radio ni sebenarnya kata cuno di Abebening Kaito.
Ekaro, Ekason, Ekale. Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọmọdọ́lá Oyèyẹmí, ọmọ bíbí ìlú Ìbàdàn. Jafric Radio lẹ́ ń wò yìí o, ẹ múra sí i. Ṣé kò tó?
You are listening and watching Jafric Radio.
Check it out, it's awesome.
Like, subscribe, share all our social media handles. Arigato. Bye bye. Share. Jafric Radio is affiliated with Adum FM.
Chiankoma Nana Yao Pop, Jafric Radio.
Special good morning and come out the entire crew. Nana Yao Pop and the entire crew. Jafric Radio Japan, good morning. We love you. Congratulations. We love you. Yeah,
Jafric Radio.
Yeah, Jafric Radio.
You change your money now. Nana, this show, Japan,